Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to another day. Hope you're awake. We got some trading to do. Let's take a look. Futures. NASDAQ roaring early here. Roaring. Good thing we made some trades yesterday. Whew. Good thing we made some trades. Rest of futures down. S&P futures down. Dow futures down. Russell 2000 futures down. Everything's sort of coming up right now, though, just like the NASDAQ futures are. Those were actually break even just, not even 30 minutes ago. So everything is actually coming onto the way up. Again, coming from a day yesterday that was, you could consider a very risk-on day yesterday with just sort of buying everywhere. Expected take profit there, but also an expectation that growth would likely continue today without taking profit was a bit of what I talked about yesterday and why I decided to take the angle that I did in some decisions. So tech being up, continuing to move today, specifically in some of the areas that we went into, is also a very good sign of that idea. Now, it wasn't for the same reason that I actually thought. I actually thought the reason we would break that sort of when you get the big buy day and usually get a historical sort of take profit day the day after, maybe losing about half of it. We actually got, I was talking about the Hang Seng would do very well. Asia tech would do very well in reaction to our market. If you saw anything to do with Asian markets, they did not have a very good day. Did not have a very good day. But if you actually look at this chart, now the chart is right where our charts are. They're a little bit lagged, but this candle actually brings it down into support where most of the charts that we're buying actually are. And so it kind of creates this kind of, I guess it's just really a lag, and we see this convergence of sectors. We'll have to see if we get some sort of convergence on just a growth sort of perspective over here. Now, some China numbers did come out. There's some economy, different things. Sure, there's a lot of different things tied here, right? There's always something else there, but this did not hurt the tech futures on our end. So again, this is just full reaction. We'll see how this does again for anything China related. Again, it just will affect those China tickers that we're looking at, right, for the tech side. Either way, tech is up this morning, so we're continuing that move. We'll see how the S&P reacts. Again, crude continues to go down right now, so again, that's affecting anything on the oil side, on the energy side, that's directly tied to that. Again, that's going through a bit of a consolidation itself. Kind of going back to what we've talked about prior, that demand is peaked out anyway on crude. But again, there is expectation that this will continue to trend up. It's going through some sort of consolidation. Where exactly this ends up, I think when you get some days like this where you come back into the same support, that's likely where anyone on this side is taking that as, okay, we have support here. So we'll see how that translates to our side. Again, this move here, sort of pivoting back up, did not hold, so it's not. It's definitely confirming some sort of consolidation down here. So again, that ties into companies and everything that on our side, that is on the larger energy side. So again, I talked about, we tried to take this move here in relation to crude. Didn't happen. So again, we didn't take anything yesterday. It's down again pre-market today. But again, it is doing the same crude thing, which is consolidating. Listen, we got a very large move here. We'll look to see what this consolidation looks like here. Again, markets continue to ebb and flow. They're not straight lines. This was a straight line. I mean, okay. Sometimes they are a straight line like this here, but again, you're going to get breakouts, consolidations, breakouts. We'll see what this consolidation looks like. I don't expect much to be taken off of this, and I don't expect growth to outperform value still. Nothing has changed still. Again, it's very important that yes, we can take some trades linked to the NASDAQ. We can take Apple, we can trade semiconductors and have a good time. Facebook, right? But what's important to realize is still the overall sort of bullishness of the market and to realize exactly where the money wants to be. Again, there's a reason why value has continued to outperform growth over this year, and really since the presidential election, it has outperformed tech substantially, right? Substantially, actually leading in every single sector above tech. We have to keep that mindset there, that even though we're taking these trades, you do not want to remove yourself from really the trend that's happening, right? Yes, things can consolidate and have a bit of a pause, and we take profit in that moment and wait for the next breakout. You don't want tech and the idea of growth and sort of some of the promises that come with it, right, to completely remove you from the game, right? This is great, and if we can get from our entry, if we can get some sort of upside and we get to the all-time high, that'd be great. It would turn into a great trade. Those are some trades. Again, those of you that make more than one trade, right, which is most of you, maybe some of you still, you don't have the money to do it. Well, not talking to you, so don't worry about it. Those of you that do make more than one trade, right, and have more than one position, I'm saying, your majority of your position should not be just on the growth side, right? Because then there's a problem, right? Now you're back into the same problem where, oh, what about happened to all in here, right? We still haven't even gotten out of the shit show over here yet, right? We're still in this whole, oh, my yields, my toe, hit my toe, right? Oh, value's doing better. Oh man, oh, inflation. Oh man, COVID. These things, they're not going to go away, right? We understand where the baseline is now, so we understand where we can take opportunities when they come on this side now. Because again, we've gone through sort of the worst case scenarios that you can get affected on a day-to-day basis. And again, I expect that to be kind of over and expect some better moves. But certainly, as we take these trades, and especially if you make money on them, it's again important to not remove some of the larger picture, which again is the economy is going to get going. Value still has value in it, right? So keep those ideas in mind. Let's take a look. The dollar is important here. Dollar coming up. Now, we've talked about sort of this mess in here where this is a bit of consolidation, but it's also a bit of sideways trading because of sort of unknowns. There's really not, there's just really not much known about what exactly we're doing in the sense of this could be risk on. It could be seen as risk on, the dollar going to the upside. Or again, money conversion really to the dollar for U.S. equities. It can be seen as rising inflation expectations, rising with the yields. Again, if yields rise, well, then the cost of capital rises, then the dollar will rise in return, which again causes inflation, which would then cause the dollar. Okay, great. So there's different things. But there's also fear, safe haven reasons why you would go into the dollar in a very quick sort of sense, not long-term dollar. You wouldn't go long-term dollar, but in terms of swaps right now, there's also the sense that, okay, Asia's still not doing well. They could be converting to the dollar. We'll have to see. Again, it's the move that matters, not the price. So we'll see if this is now heading towards the upside. If this broke out of this here, then this is a lot of support, and you're likely going to have a hard time breaking through it. So if price does come back up through here, then now we have a rising dollar, which again, it doesn't matter if the dollar, it's not like the equity market can't go up when the dollar rises. Yes, the equity market rallied when the dollar broke down. It does not change anything if it goes up, but we need to understand why, because it could be a context that it is being affected in the same way as before, where if the dollar's going up, the equity market's going to have a hard time. It's going to be more, the reality is it's going to be more choppy no matter what if the dollar has risen and is not trending towards one way, right? If it's not trending down, then it is going to be a bit more choppy because, again, that means that we're not fully in agreement and there's not full demand going into equity market if the dollar's rising. That's just the reality, right? You don't need everyone and their mother to be making the same trade, of course, but it doesn't of course mean that everyone is going equities. I would still expect everyone to be going equities. Again, when you look at the idea of the amount of spending that's come in, we know what the result is, right? So whether the timing is right or wrong, I talked about this a bit yesterday. Whether the timing is right or wrong, equities in all markets are going to be appreciating and rising very quickly because, again, spending is out of its mind. The Fed increasing money supply, providing liquidity, federal government just spending trillions of dollars whenever the hell it wants. Whenever it wants. Oh, what do you guys need? You want money in your bank accounts? Great. Give you bank account money. Oh, you want to build some new roads and bridges and shit? Oh, here's $3 trillion. So infrastructure. Again, those are all value ideas. So, again, we're going to stay in everything and also take advantage of when growth opportunities come there because, again, things will grow in the future as well, right? If we're spending money, then that means something else is growing somewhere else at a different time, of course. So, and also, again, just to remind the dynamic of yesterday of why we took some trades, like, okay, why did we take the Apple trade? Beyond the fact that it's in a support area and it's been beat to shit for so long, and well, yeah, there's really no other good reasons. What did we take the trade yesterday for? In sort of, or at least the overarching idea, are we going to bet against Apple? At this moment, are we going to bet against Apple at its low? It's holding support for a while now. Are you going to bet against it now? No, I'm not going to bet against Apple. I mean, they're a $2 trillion company. They're going to grow in the future. They're going to innovate. There's growth. These are all fundamental ideas, sure, but it's like just reality that they're going to continue to do well. Now, do I want to be a fucking Apple trader? No. I'm just taking the low opportunity here. You know what I mean? Again, you asked me back here, back in like 2019, coming into 2020 or something. This is all just, we all traded one way, right? But if you asked me back in like 2018, 2017 stuff, I mean, am I adding to a long position of Apple? No, probably not. There's nothing fucking here. I'd have to be a boomer, right? Not that none of us are boomers, but that's boomer trading, just investing over like the next 2 years or something. I'm not going to do that. It's like, oh, well, I could add more to Apple. Oh, I mean, and I know Apple will go up, but I'm not going to, I mean, that's just like you're adding long positions to something that's going to go up, sure, but there's no volatility. Everyone has the same expectation. Right now, not everyone has the same expectation, so it's a different kind of trade, right? Because back then it was just you're literally just trend trading and investing over time. Right now, the trade and the reason why we're taking growth is because it has been beat up, and there's not the same expectations. The volatility, if you look at sort of the implied volatility here, there's really not an expectation of a trend to the upside right now. There are still some fears, and again, we just finally get the rest of the party to figure out that, oh, value is actually a good option right now during rising economies and shit ton of spending, right? And those are going to be the benefactor. So, oh, we can go in there. So again, that just happened. So this again, there's already a removal of demand from this side, whether this gets short-term demand or not, because again, there's take profit in value right now. That's not going to change. The value is going to keep going up, right? Next week, the week after that. But also, it does take away demand here, and this did look like shit, like I talked about the opportunity. Again, we're not doing anything fancy. We're trying to buy lows when we can. We understand the timing may not be perfect. It's not going to be perfect, but we're going to take the trades when they're there. And again, this comes from just betting on risk on. We're being directional, right? It's important to realize that we are betting on direction, and if the direction doesn't happen, then you're not going to make money. Absolutely. And then we're adding in the fact that you're then trying to also bet on the speed through options, right? Which again, you may be wrong betting on the speed, which is why we try to only take trades that are in a bit of a consolidation and breaking out, and we're trying to take the fact that we understand that after a breakout is when you're likely to get the most movement in a ticker. So we're trying to, again, we only take the trade when it's in that moment. Sometimes we preempt it, like here we're preempting tech and growth because, again, it just seems based on everything that sort of we talked about, the sectors we're looking at, like semis, seems to be really the the position to do so, to get a preemptive trade, squeeze as much out of that as possible. And again, it doesn't take away from the fact that we have a long value trade, and that adds as a very good complementary trade, right? Let me see. Okay, that looks pretty good. Looks to be another fun day today. Again, we have a higher low. That's really all that matters. Higher low. Most indices will have higher lows. I think just about everything should be able to hold some sort of trend. We're just trending up through pre-market right now. If we look at sort of where the Dow is in some of these tickers, he's going to open at 326.14. This is still going to be higher than the low of yesterday. So even on the value side, if you look where it is actually going to be at a higher low. So it's actually still, in terms of this take profit consolidation, is actually in a great spot. Again, not even fully erasing the gain of yesterday. And so, again, even when we look at this side, there's not weakness here. This isn't like, this is not like tech taking profit, right? In this consolidation, where you have an expectation as soon as you start to do this, that it's going to take fucking time. And then it gets really volatile and choppy. You understand, well, this is not the moment, right? The value side's not going to do that because no one's removing long positions. You have to remember that no one's removing long positions over here. Is there any long positions being removed on the small cap side here? This is at 223.16. We understand there's some regional banks being take profit here. Again, oil is being sort of fucked right now, right? So again, those are going to take profit. That's a lot of this average. Is anyone taking profit on long positions? No. If you're in a long position, you're pushing a long position, whether it's here or the Dow, anything value oriented that's trendy, trend, like on a trend type of trade. Not, again, there's like some differences between travel and everything else. Those are very short-term volatile trades, but again, these are all pointing to upside. So let's not forget any of these. The SPY is really going to be the most interesting thing today, I think. It's stuck between the two ideas. But again, I think if we're going to use the SPY a little bit more this week and into next week, because it's stuck between the two ideas of growth and value. Again, it's very tech oriented, but you can even see pre-market it's down compared to the NASDAQ, about 20 basis points down compared to 20 points up on the NASDAQ. So it's a good, again, mix of the things that we're looking at, and it's a good representation of the idea that all equities are going to be risk on. So if the S&P is doing well, then what we think must be, getting confirmation. So we're going to use a little bit of this. Where exactly are we going? Are we going to get back into a trend? Are we going to, again, sort of consolidate through here? Is this going to be a quick stop and go? Some sort of, again, pull back here into all-time high again. Again, if you reach all-time high, you're not going to be stopped. As we've seen, I'm again still betting on further upside. Again, all-time high is going to cause more breakouts. There's no supply up there, no resistance. Buying is just going to continue to happen. I think we're in that moment. So we're in the moment. Spot VIX is fucking zero. So it didn't continue to break down, which is nice, but it does not look good for having a little bit of higher volatility. We are, in the sense, getting very close to just coming down to our pre-COVID levels, which basically we've always sat at in the teens. If we remove our COVID volatility, it's going to cause more violent moves. That's the reality, because no one now is pricing in volatility, but IV is pricing in volatility on the bond and the equity market. So it's, again, why this is not very helpful, other than the sense that we know the market's not pricing volatility correctly. That's it. Market is pricing risk based on liquidity and flows right now. That's it. Which I'm all for. I'm fine with that. But there's supposed to be an expectation of volatility that comes and goes, and you can bet on. Like last week, we made bets coming into this week that there'd be more volatility, in the sense that there'd be larger price movement, more speed, which we are getting, right? that should be represented in volatility. Volatility should be not be biased, it should be up or down, right? But it doesn't, which is okay. Whatever. Whatever. From positions yesterday, there's not really much else to mention. We'll get into the trading day. From positions yesterday, a lot of these are going to take profit. Again, I would say don't forget that if you have a big buy day, you're going to get some take profit. So again, if you are in a position that is going to be taking profit, some of them, if something did 8% yesterday, it's going to be losing a few percent, if not more than that, at least half of it sometimes, right? You should have known yesterday whether or not you're going to be able to push through that so that you can make a decision immediately today, or right now you should know. If you have contracts that allow you to push through that, then you should definitely do so, right? It reaches its low it reaches its low rate at open and then starts to go back up to the upside. Yeah, it's going to lose a little bit of time, but you're betting on more than what you got yesterday. Or if you get something yesterday and you know you're going to be taking profit just because the rest of the market takes profit and you can't push it more than one day, then again, you should be just taking profit early. You know yourself better. I would still say in almost every circumstance, you should be pushing everything this week. Get stopped out. We're buying at lows right now. You need to ask yourself, would you bet against the market right now at those lows, right? Would you short it in some of these instances at that low? If the answer is no, and the answer is going to be no for everyone here, that's just the reality. Like I didn't even need you to fucking answer and talking to myself anyway. But the answer is going to be no. No one is shorting the lows here anywhere, right? It's just no one's doing it. No one's going to do it. Not even here is anyone going to do it. So you need to keep that in mind and realize that this is the fucking low. It's just how quickly are we going to get out of here? You could sit in here for months. Absolutely. You could literally sit here for months. I'm betting on volatility, which means the price is going to go up. But no one's going to short it here. So again, let's keep this in mind, which means if you have a take profit day, are you going to just say, oh, well, I better get out of this position? Or are you just going to say, well, okay, someone took profit, but that's not the market and that's not where it's going to be in the future. So let me just push this position. This is a good example of where it depends on your contracts. Sometimes your contracts are going to need you to be a little bit more sensitive. Sometimes you can just push that shit and it doesn't even matter. Sometimes they don't even move to begin with. You get like 5% on the underlying and you have Junes and they didn't even move. They'll move more in the future, but not right now, right? So it depends. I'm betting on equities. Risk on. Biden just proposed his advisors proposed a $3 trillion spending plan on infrastructure and I don't know, building shit, new programs. What did I say? Government just going to be spending out of their mind. We're going to have unprecedented spending levels we've never seen in this country, not even from like World War II and the spending that we did. This is a whole different level. Again, $1 trillion is so much fucking money. It's so much money. And we forget how we're doing this all at the same time. The Fed has increased its balance sheet up to over 10 trillion. And the federal government has also done multiple stimulus plans, trillions of dollars. We're now going to spend more trillions of dollars. This is all at one time. It's the most spending ever. And we're doing it all in like the span of a year, 2 years. It's so much fucking spending. It's more than basically the country's ever spent in its entirety. Like everything together, right? It's all at once. If you don't think that people are going to have money in their pockets, the markets aren't going to be rallying, you're literally out of your fucking mind. I don't know what you could possibly... You got to remember that the market is not... the market all knows this. The whole market knows this. We're trading in a bit of a more short-term, cycled kind of way right now, right? No one in the market or investors aren't going, oh yeah, I mean, the economy is going to boom and there's going to be a shit ton of spending, but hey, I mean, maybe equities don't go up. No, these are all going to fucking go up. It's just they're trying to, again, create portfolios that are going to max out that idea. You got to remember that it's what's happening in the market is literally just repositioning all the time. No one is going, are pensions going, you know what? Fuck the equity market. We're not going to be long anymore. Do you think pensions are going to just remove themselves from the stock market? Like, do you think that is going to happen? Trillions, like, I mean, trillions of dollars of pension money. Do you think it's just going to be removed from the market, or do they just keep like adding new positions and repositioning? Right? Money's not going to be removed. There's actually more money every day coming into the market still. It's just rotating around. We saw the tech rotation into value. We're seeing some short-term moves reacting to oil. These things fucking happen, but no one is going, oh, well, we're not going to be up next year. No, everyone knows that. Everyone fucking knows that. So if we know that, let's take advantage of it, right? That's it. There's so much spending, guys. You could literally do the dumbest bets and you'd get paid, right? Some of you lose money because you're trying to trade over minutes and hours of time. That's why you lose money. If you trade over days and weeks of time, you're gonna you have to purposely try to lose money. And that's why I say the same thing every day, that is, you're not making a trade for the next 30 minutes or hour or tomorrow. You're making it for next week, the week after that. Even as just swing traders that we get in and out of trades, it doesn't change the fact that we're not trying to time the next 5-minute candle. We're not trying to time 20 minutes from now, right? We are betting on what's going to happen next week. We're just doing it in a different fashion of being nimble. We're smaller sizing. We can get in and out of trades, and we can bet on speed because of that, right? We literally just bet on if there's going to be more volatility after we place the trade or not. It's literally the only thing you're betting on. They're yes or no trades. Is volatility going to be higher after I buy this? If the answer is yes, you're going to get paid. If the answer is no, well, then you're going to have to get stopped out and break even. We shouldn't be losing money on it by betting on something stupid to happen. Some of you still make dumb trades. You buy out of the monies, you buy short terms, and then you make some excuse of why you're at fault. You buy dumb things at dumb times. Like if you were trading, it's like I could trade Facebook now. And so now you think that you can trade Facebook at any time ever. And so now when Facebook, after it takes profit and goes back into a drawdown or something, you're then going to go, well, I've been trying to trade Facebook and it's not working, but Don was trading it and I'm buying out of the monies where he was. I don't understand. It's like, because you're not fucking getting it. There's no common sense there. You don't just, again, there's a time and a place. They're not going to perfectly time this stuff, right? But again, you follow some simple rules, you can't hurt yourself. You literally, you couldn't even fucking try. You have to purposely try to hurt yourself. Some of you are just gambling. Remove the gambling, become an old-timey investor. You're never going to lose money, right? We're trying to get a little bit faster than that, a little bit more betting oriented, sure. And there's going to be some more risks involved because we're trying to get fucking paid. Now, we don't have all day, right? I literally don't have my entire life to try to compound my money. I understand that you can compound your money over time and it'd be a great payout, sure. But I don't want to wait 10, 20 years. I want to do it right fucking now so I can get this shit over with, right? I'm willing to pay the risk. That's all you're doing is paying for risk. It's not that you'll actually lose all the money. That's the important part to remember. You're paying for risk for the reward. You're literally paying for it. You shouldn't be just taking that risk on all the time and being hurt by it. Or do you pay to get hurt? Where else in society besides some like weird BDSM parlor that you go to are you paying to get hurt, right? It's not the reality. Don't pay to get hurt. You don't get paid to get mugged, do you? So don't do that in the option chain. Well, Don, you'd be surprised. It's kind of my thing. Okay, well, you suck. All right, let's see what we get here. Again, let's get that quick take profit out of the way. I would say that we're going to probably get a very traditional sort of open here. That first 15 minutes is going to dictate it. Oh, 5-minute take profit, 5-minute candle sideways trading tightening, and then a 5-minute candle the upside. Wow, who'd have thought? I would expect it. I would expect it. In terms of take profit, very, very subtle, very subtle take profits on the on any growth that we had from yesterday or last week. Again, some of the travel side is taking more profit. There's COVID news and everything else. You gotta you have to just obviously make common sense decisions around that. And we're not pushing long positions in travel, so no one should be getting hurt by travel. I already made the comment on crude and the way that affects energy. We had already exited that play. Important to not try to force that in right now. We trade breakouts of consolidations. We're entering profit, take profit and consolidation in some of these positions. You need to remember that doesn't change that we're bullish on it. It just means that we're not trading it right this fucking second, right? You don't get to trade something every single day. It's not how it works, right? Right now, we're having a bit of a growth moment from the low because there's a realization. We're taking advantage of that. We're just betting on all equities. That doesn't mean, since we're bullish on all equities, that you can just buy calls at any time on anything. Absolutely not, right? Absolutely not. This is a fancy SPY candle right here, actually. The fancy SPY candle. That's quite a bullish candle. Again, semis continue from yesterday. The big boys continue from yesterday. The really funny thing about travel is it's just a fucking mixed bag. It's such a mixed bag. You have you've got shit like this where it's, again, value is going to go up. I can understand why there's take profit right now on airlines because they've put so many fucking points on, and now there's like some news. You'll get some news traders, but you just have such a mixed bag. Look at this shit. I mean, again, it's very. Uh, it's just a lot of times it's just bad trading, and it's some people that are just trading like short term oriented, right? And since they're so short term, they're just getting in and out at bad times. Good bet on close yesterday on the Nasdaq side. I love how much red is on the end of that chart there. That's so funny to look at. Okay, small caps are the only thing that are down a lot. We'll see we'll see how this does again. I expect a lot of consolidation from the small cap side because, again, where it is and where it's who it is, it's regional banks, right? Regional banks. The overall banks are basically in the exact same spot. And again, just think about the consolidation that has to happen here, and also think about what I just said about banks and what they're doing. They're purposely trying to like whine and kind of create some chaos because, again, they want no regulation and they want to be babies. But remember some of these things because there are some news trading that is happening around that, right? I mean, it looks a lot like energy. Of course, they're very similar charts and they're operating in the same way. But I can tell you that crude is definitely not affecting the banks. So they're not the same. Doji so far. Okay, let's see if we can get some further tightening and head towards the upside, or if we're going to fully take profit and draw down again. I don't expect it. I just don't expect it. If we do, it doesn't. Well, then fine. We get it. We'll react. W continues. Penn is up 3%. Netflix up over 2. Zoom is up again 2.5. That's a good. That's good because we took that low trade and it'd be silly to get fucked on that one. Roku continues to be up today. GME's up 3%. Now 1.5. Again, you can decide whatever you want to do. I will probably short into tomorrow at some point today. Maybe a straddle is the best play, but if you look at IVs, there's only a 30% expected move, which is pretty fucking low. So I probably won't straddle. I'll just go one way, and if I don't hit it, whatever. It's literally just for fun. So just for fun. The BRM 2.5%. Individually, there's nothing active that's sticking out to me. Obviously, Viacom did offering discoveries down in conjunction with that. Oh no, not off the top of profit. Basically, just erasing the gains from yesterday and some of the day before. Let's see. Nothing really on the sell side, which kind of is unfortunate. Some of the, again, this is just people taking advantage of opportunity. I mean, it's just, it's so silly. I mean, silly. Equity market's going to go up. Going to go up. Let's see. Dolby 2%. Some good numbers here. I'm going to take you over because again, I know as soon as I said this over here. Okay. Again, Tesla got rejected over here. Talked about it yesterday. The gap up did not help it. It needs movement. So I said we'll just wait until today if we're going to be able to get an entry on this. Can we enter right now? We're not really there yet. I think on this chart, you're just going to want to wait for this this trend line here. That's what you're going to want to wait for. That's all you're going to want to wait for. We didn't get the breakthrough yesterday, which, I mean, it could mean that we're not going to get it today. I don't know. But if you look at sort of where this, oh, let me take it off this. If you look at where this chart is, right? If this is going to somehow, I mean, it just doesn't, I don't like the way that that's trading, and it's in the same place as this whole move here as the rest of growth. But you know what the difference is this up here. It already consolidated up here and broke down. It doesn't have a clear uptrend through here, and it doesn't have a clear downtrend, which just means everything is just consolidating and kind of in the middle of nowhere. So again, I don't, you need movement. Now you can make a trade that you're betting on more volatility come next week or come the later end of this week or just later on after you enter the trade. It's when you get that though is the most important thing, because it could again just continue to stay in here for a little while due to not to getting a flow, right? Just to not getting a flow, and it's not in the same position as this. That's for sure. It's just not because it consolidated up here. It led, right? It led. We'll see what this interaction is here on the Qs. Higher lows. This is going up. It's going up unless we get rejected here. Is this a rejection that we got? We'll see. We'll see. If we break the low, then that's a difference. If we break the low here, then we're going to get some sort of, again, swing through. Like these candles. Very widespread on tech this morning. Very widespread. A lot of volatility, which is what we bet on. We bet on more volatility. Roku continuing, W continuing, apps continuing. That apps trade was very good. TME it saved itself. It's now up about 1%. Basically, now it's coming back down. This chart is crazy. I have no idea what happened. I saw this at pre-market that we were down here, and so I was like, oh man, we get affected by China's market on this thing, and then yeah, so I don't know if that means we need to get out of this position. I actually just have no idea. So let's wait for some more trading to come in, and we'll understand, because I have no clue. I don't actually know. Okay. Looking very good. W again, very good from yesterday. I mean, I literally just told you yesterday you're gonna have a really hard time buying this today, which I don't even think you could have bought it today so far. There you go. You have to wait for a little bit of pullback there intraday. Roku still continuing. This could get interesting, right? Could get very interesting, especially Viacom, Discovery, some of the other names taking profit at the same time. Jimmy at the tightest point it's been in a while. Unbelievable. That timing. All right, let's bring it over to the Apple trade. Apple, 0.5% take profit so far. Very good for about the 3% yesterday. In terms of what we're looking for today, again, I think we're going to still come green. So again, you get this take profit. I'm just, from what I said yesterday, you're just going to continue the move today. Whether it took a little bit of profit here at open, 0.5%, I just expect it to be green here. Continue trades. You can definitely see with some of the others how some of the performance we're getting so far this morning. Peloton coming through. Okay, that looks, again, dangerous up there. Dangerous. A lot of points in here. This is what we're talking about with all these charts, right? All of these charts that are in the same spot. You have these sort of continuation triangles and double bottoms. They're just, there's so much upside that, and we're at such a low, you confirm the low with this pivot here coming into this week, right? These are gonna fucking explode, guys. Everyone knows it. It's just the timing thing, right? You have to remember, everyone knows in the market that we're gonna go up. You have to remember that. You have to remember that there's there's some perma bears out there, but they're not. They mean nothing, right? Their ideas mean nothing. When you look at this chart, the only thing anyone sees, the only thing anyone thinks, especially when you look at any of these, is that price is going to go up. And it's just a question of where should you put your money. Should you put it here, put it there? Fucking just put it anywhere. Yeah, we're trying to be specific, but I mean that's just silly. These are all just so silly. I just find it dumb that all of this it's just silly. It literally is just silly. It's just bad trading. Bad trading. This is great. This is just great. If this is our fucking take profit on this move, then it's definitely we're in such a, we're just risk on everywhere. This is the Dow. The Dow, first of all, never moves this much, right? This trend, this rally here never happens. Look at the Dow. If you look through here, look at this price movement. This does not happen. And then this is the take profit. That's the consolidation. That was it. You would expect this to take at least a week or two. Look at this. These consolidations that happen take a lot of time, and there's basically no movement. We still have, look at this tightening here that's going to lead to upside. Again, everything everywhere is just, yeah. No one is betting against, right? No one. Nobody. TME. Unfucking believable, this chart. Good thing we didn't get out of there. 32.5 or so is the next trend line, but it doesn't really matter. We're coming up. We are coming up. In terms of how much this would be, this is 40. It would be 38. 38. Oh, it's 38 days and like 38 price. That might be too much though. How much is this? That should be about right. Yeah, about right. Just about right. There's a lot of upside. The trend line though, we should get some, we should interact. This is just too much here. Too much here. Get some sort of reaction, but yeah, there's a lot more upside in this chart, which is, it's kind of it may not be the same, because if it's going to continue this velocity, then maybe on top of the trend line it will do that. This is not much movement in here comparatively to this volatility, but we'll see. This is a great fucking trade so far. So, we also cut this trade, so doing well on this chart so far. A lot around the break even, so to be expected from yesterday's big big move and take profit after a buy day. But we're still trending towards the upside, so. What we get here. GRWG another 2.5%. What a silly chart. Fucking silly. For this trade, again, I talked about over here that if you had short terms, you were going to take, like, I'm talking, if you had March monthlies, you had some sort of weeklies, that you were going to take profit after this Monday here, right? If you have long terms, of course you're betting on a long-term play. You have not taken profit yet, and you're going to keep pushing. So if you're in anything that was over April, right, then you, of course, have not gotten any sort of reversal, so you keep pushing. It's important to realize that if you entered anywhere in here, right, anywhere in here at this low where we went to the upside, and again, we bought everything on March 5th, this long trade here, you have to realize still how much this does for you. If you made any of these trades like this at that March 5th low on this side of things, you have so much upside potential here that as you push further and further, this is exactly where this trade could have been maybe just a 1 day, 2 day trade. But now you can swing it from a few days to a couple weeks to maybe even now over a month. And you're squeezing out so many fucking points. It's disgusting, right? And this is again where you just have to take that trade. It's not always going to work out. But what we try to do is we try to cast a really wide net to capture as much as possible. And sometimes you're going to come out with a trade that makes you 70% on the underlying in 2 weeks, almost 1,000% on the options, and everything else starts to seem kind of silly. Everything else, oh, lost $100 on that other trade. Oh, well. Oh, lost $1,000 on this trade. Oh, well. I'm just trying to capture, right? We have a lot of examples of this, but again, it's so important to realize when you should be taking it and why it makes such a difference to, we can't perfectly time, so we have to take every single opportunity we get. You have to be consistent with it. That's my style of trading. If you don't want to do that, that's fine, but you're not going to, there's no way to specifically know which trade is going to be the better trade, right? They look the same at the moment. They look and feel the same at that moment. On March 5th here, this low here, there's charts that came back down here. There's charts that came up, came back down here, and then there's charts that look like this here from that March 5th low. There's a lot of things that had support here. If you didn't buy all of them, then you probably missed out on a lot of them, right? If you bought one and then that one didn't go up, well, then guess what? You didn't make anything. But if you bought this one, you got it. Are you going to be able to get it every time? No. So you have to just cast a wide net, try to enter as many things as you can. If you don't have much money, you're going to have a real fucking hard time doing that, aren't you? Yeah. Yeah. And that's, again, where it comes down to, if you don't have the necessary capital to do that, then you can't do that, which means you then need to enter a different realm of trading, which you can't allow any bullshit, and you have to be perfect. You have to be perfect. You get less than $100,000, you have to be perfect. You have to be perfect. Or else you're not going to ever, it's just never going to happen. It's just literally never going to happen. Because you're never taking trades that have full probability, and with a lower account, you have to take riskier trades. Because you're just dealing with a smaller amount of money. You can't try to capture larger moves, so now you're pinpointing, and now you're really betting on specific things to happen. And if it doesn't happen, well, then it's another missed opportunity, right? Difficult. I mean, 25,000, you should still be able to spread enough to capture some of these. But it's so important to see that, where, a lot of different things can happen, but it's, the biggest thing is just buying in that opportunity. This low point and taking that, because, again, just looking at the SPY here, this is the March 5th low. Here's the high here. This, you can manage it however you need to in here. It's the fact that you're already in. It's the fact that you're already in, and now you can manage it however you need to based on your positions and anything else, right? but it's not going to be perfect, right? You might have entered over here. You might have entered here. Not ever going to be perfect. You know, I'd say about 30% of my trades are 100% trades, which is a pretty fucking good number. But guess what? That's still 70% of trades that don't get that. Yeah, they're not the 70% are not losing money. Some of them are losing money, absolutely, but no, Don, every one of my trades are loss leaders. You don't get it. Small caps more profit. We do have support down here. There is support in here. 221. See how this supply works here. I talked about this a lot, where this zone is a nightmare. You have to climb out of here. I'm surprised we're having such trouble at this supply right here. I think shouldn't take very long. By 10 o'clock, we should be out of that. I don't see, again, I don't see, here's the thing, institutions are not going to wait around. They don't have time. I didn't see really any of their orders come through at open, but they also are being a lot more active picking, which means that they could be some of the names we see, absolutely. Makisa says Eric's looking kind of cute. I think that's Makisa's crush. I like Chris. I like Chris. Eric's okay, but Chris is cuter. Chris is cuter in my book. He's when you think about Chris and Eric, Chris is just a little bit more endowed in the body, right? Right? A little bit more body to him. And it's sort of, Chris sort of, you know what he does? He kind of erects out of this, right? Whereas Eric is kind of, how do you put it? He's a bit rounder. He's not as sharp around the edges, you know? He'll surprise you every now and then. Eric will surprise you every now and then. A little pre-move, right? A little bit of a pre-action. Chris won't ever do that to you, right? Chris tells you what he's going to do, and he does it to you, right? He erects his price. That's it. Now, don't get me started on the other one. Don't get me started on Craig. Craig has been letting us down lately. Craig over here, not as good. Waiting for Craig to come back. Limp. Yep. Craig not as cute. But here we are. All right. Unbelievable. No, but I do like Eric. Eric, ERIC is pretty good. Pretty good. I mean, it's all pre-market here, but again, that's why you make trades that are all. I would say everyone this week. I talked about it a lot yesterday. Everyone this week, you should be making trades. You should not enter a trade and exit the trade in the same day this week. Don't do it to yourself. Don't let yourself do it. Make that be a rule this week, and maybe push it into next week. Do not enter a trade and exit it the same day, unless you get stopped out or something, right? Don't let it be your decision. You get stopped out, whatever. Keep trying to make the trade and enter it, but do not exit the trade yourself with your decision in the same day that you entered it. That should be a good rule for everyone here. I mean, it should already be a rule, and I do specify if I'm taking something that's considered a day trade and trying to take advantage of something in the moment. You shouldn't be doing that anyway, but I think there might be some of you that still do that, where you're not listening to the 2021 motto of not being a pussy, and you're still you're have a little bit of fear going into the end of the day that, oh, something could happen. I got to get out of this position, take the profit, or get out of here now, and then maybe even sell at a bad price, right? Just to get out of it, just to be like, oh, I know what it's like. You're like, oh, I made a trade. Oh, yeah, made $20. Oh, made $100. Oh. And you just kind of do dumb shit. Don't do that, please. All right, coming into 10 o'clock. Let's see. What we get? This has been just continued take profit. We're coming into, here's halfway mark is around here. We're coming right into the halfway mark, so looks like we are going to get a historical take profit day. But it doesn't change what's on the other end. So the whole point of what I said is that it's going to be up today. I don't know what the move is going to be, but I would say it's going to be up today. So whether we come down to the halfway mark or not, still going to be up. I mean, we're not even close to it, but you know what I mean. It looks very good there. Value getting going again. Oh no, not the Dow again, Don. We just finally get the Nasdaq going. Yeah, Dow endowed. Banks going again. I would take bank trades here. I mean, I have. It's what I was saying earlier is that it's not the same as energy, right? Energy is tied to crude, and crude can be all over the place at times, right? It's been on a very good trend, and we've been trading with the trend, with the economics. Banks, it's not the same. You can take these trades because, again, it's not fucking tied to crude. Like XLE, it may look the same as XLE here, but it's not. You should be trading individual banks, Bank of America, JP, JPM, GS. Obviously, a few of those are in the Dow. We're tied to some of them already. No reason not to. And this again, where when you look at this, this is probably in the wrong spot here. This is probably opened poorly. I would say this is not. This is now again, it's pre-market, but I would say it's wrong. This is wrong right here in terms of pricing. It's regional banks in consolidations. But it's still wrong in terms of the pricing, the average here. But again, it's because this is an average, right? You look at individual companies, it's not that dire, right? What do we get for an X consolidation? Do like the X consolidation. I mean, we really just have these two trend lines right now. That looks pretty good. I mean, you could just keep trading X off this. Let's just draw the trend line in there. Right? Trade it off the low in here, whatever the angle you want to call it. I mean, you could connect these, and you could even go this far and say it did just bounce on support. You could just keep trading it off the low end of the range here, trying to time. Again, you could just wait for a breakout of consolidation, or you could be like, well, you know what, pretty good. Take it on the trend line break, whatever you want to do. We'll see. This is going to just keep rallying, so it literally doesn't matter. It's just consolidating this move here. Take profits. We came into March expirations. It's going to take another moment for contracts to get back put on. GoDaddy continues from that move yesterday. Did break this resistance here for what we consider. It's not. This is not really as much of a double bottom, but it's the same idea. Did break that midpoint. Where are we on the healthcare move? Tightening today leads to upside rest of the week. Looks very much like the Dow chart. K continues. Came back down to 62.10. I didn't actually see that. Again, most recent breakouts have been performing very well again. So you should still be, if you're just primarily using my charts, you should just be, besides the main macro ideas and how some charts they don't even need to be breaking out and we'll trade them, and they could be later charts. You know which ones are the favorites that we're looking to trade. Otherwise, the most recent breakout charts are just consistently more bullish than anything else and have continued to. The trading has been a lot different this year. Been able to just after every single breakout take the trade, which is not very common. Usually when we're taking breakout trades, almost always you get a take profit day after that breakout, and you're buying at a low. We've consistently had the opposite, where it's actually the breakout is then breaking out of another resistance level or something, and we're taking that breakout trade. Like the breakout trades are not leading to pullbacks, right? We buy on support. You don't buy on support if you have a breakout that leads to further upside, right? I'll give you an example. W yesterday. This chart, we had a breakout, right? The trade you took was not on a pullback, on a support buy. You took it on a breakout buy, right? That's been probably 90% of trades in the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 months, right? Since the presidential election, right? Besides that trade coming out of the low in November, everything else has been breakout buys. Not much pullback buys. Just recently, yesterday and in the end of last week, we made those support buys on the growth side. But everything else has been trending up, trading to the upside, all-time high, right? So keep in mind some of the trading that we've been doing. It's not going to change, right? It's not going to change. You have to just keep taking the trades those ways. I think it's important to realize, though, that also where when I talk about buying growth at a bottom at a low, a lot of these charts you're not going to be able to do that. You just have to take the trade immediately, right? You just need to get in there, or else it's going to be you're never going to get into some of these trades. Adobe past 461. Again, a lot of charts looking the same right now, which is a good sign. Good sign. It's a great spot here. DBX still flirting with that trend line there. Really wants more upside, which if it does, here you go. A little bit of a picture. Bit of a picture up here. EXCH continues from yesterday. We talked about this chart back at the beginning of this month. I don't know where the trend line is, but this is pretty silly. I'll probably put some more points on. I thought this was going to go yesterday. I didn't say anything, but thought we were going to go yesterday. See what that gets in today. XPO off the trend line. Interesting here on XPO. Again, this transportation side of things, distribution, these things are not things to sleep on. Definitely not. Baba continues. Hey, Baba continues. What I was going to say earlier about the Asian markets is that, yeah, the Hang Seng was down, Shanghai was down, and, everything was down in Asia. It's not changing those tickers that are trading on the U.S. exchanges. It's just kind of weird, but they're not connected very well right now. I would believe this over over the Asian market because this is, I mean, it's quite literally painting itself. It's too obvious, right? We took this trade down here. I'm not going to get out of this trade, like I said yesterday. It's too obvious where this price is going. I don't really like it. I liked it up here. I thought we were going to get a move. This was terrible in here, but we're really out of that. It's just too. I mean, what do you think? Where do you think it's going to go? I mean, it's too clear. That's for sure. Like all these charts, a little too clear. If something looks a certain way, then it's probably what you're seeing is fucking true. Believe your own eyes, right? My eyes. Here, give me one sec, guys. Alrighty. Back. Why don't we do a poll for GME? Just gonna do is GME gonna open higher or lower tomorrow? That's what we're doing. GME open tomorrow. Higher or lower? What do you think? And based on your decision, I'm going to either buy calls or puts. A lot of bid, boys. Really makes you think, doesn't it? Really makes you think. Really makes you think. See ya. Oh man, Don, I didn't buy anything. Oh god, am I gonna buy this? Oh god. Alright, fuck it. I don't care. Here. We have a tie on the higher or lower vote. Okay. I mean, I guess it does depend on what happens today, right? if it sells everything today, it might just open higher. Even I mean, earnings literally don't fucking matter. So, it probably doesn't fucking matter at all. It might be best just to say I don't think anything's gonna happen. That volatility thing, the IV only predicting a 30% move, which I thought was low, might be an overstatement. It may not even move 5%. Right? All the movement is probably gonna happen today. All the movement probably happens today. I would short. I mean, again, I would just short it. So I'm not gonna say if I shorted it at open or not, but I would probably say that's what happens. Uh, Google putting the move on. Pepsi continues. Imagine. You ready for 144? Crack a Pepsi. And bright out here again today. Earlier it was looking like a dystopian city over here, and the city was super foggy. I couldn't even see the building, the buildings in front of me. Oh, it's bright as shit. That overcast bright. Uh, do you? Is that? I mean, we're literally just betting on anything that's like this. I mean, it almost doesn't even matter. I'm just gonna stick with what we got. And everything is going. Is the eye continuing? Again, I talked about this yesterday. I'm gonna push this trade. There you go. We're up 1% so far. We'll see. We'll see what happens here. After if the movement doesn't continue, then okay. I mean, get to a point where might get out of that trade. But for now, sticking with that idea. Um, Not much movement. Let's see what's on the sell side. Most of this is take profit from yesterday's gain still. We do have things like BA still rolling over like this, and they've talked about this sort of droopy, this sort of tightening in here, and this droopy kind of price action that comes after. Um, I would say that again, this is bad trading. Bad trading. We of course understand the need to consolidate this breakout here, and you have some take profits from that, and you start to hold a level. This is a bit. I mean, for BA, it's nothing. That's for sure. But I would say again, what we understand so far, this just looks better, right? The way, when you look at this chart, okay, just you can sum this up a little bit better, right? And go, oh, okay, this is a good spot for it. That BA chart is just gross. TGI is sold from the trend line here. It's important to note that because again, we were looking to, if you were in a long position this yesterday, if you take it from, if you had depending on your contracts, you had to get the fuck out yesterday. When it first started, we talked about you could again manage that. Today definitely takes that off the table. So we're getting the first sort of take profit, the first pullback on aerospace and defense. We haven't actually seen it yet, besides that GE move, which was a news event, right? Which we bought on, took advantage of it. This is the first actual pullback we've seen on this sector. It's also aligned with the rest of value, so it's everything's at least happening at the same time. Twitter is a lot further behind than the rest of the charts in this move, but it's up so much more comparatively. So I would still say this chart's more bullish, even though this move is not as bullish as the market right now. But it's much further ahead, right? This chart's much further ahead. Is this the spot to take the trade, though? That's the question. I would have. Yesterday, when we were buying everything, it wasn't lined up in the same way. Think about it. See what that does by close. Okay, yeah. What else was on the sell side? Let's see. A lot of take profit. Well, news events. Okay. I don't really see anything on this side. Eva makes sense. Brad's a good spot. I think any trades that are being taken right now, you're just betting on it's going to be higher next week. So you don't really give a shit what happens in the next. I think that's the only way to take some trades right now if you're looking for some. You look at anything, it's like, I mean, it may not move today, may not move tomorrow, but it's certainly going to probably be up. So I think that's the way to take trades right now. We've been able to, from Friday, you're able to take a little bit more short term. Yesterday, you were able to take a little bit more short term. Today, you don't really have the luxury. So again, you miss it, you miss it. Now you have to go a little bit more long term and look to squeeze some gains out over time instead of at the same, in a fucking day, which you don't get to perfectly time and you have to be there, right? You miss it, right? You were busy picking your nose and you were sleeping, then you missed the trades that were short term, which just happened. Then you fucking missed it. You're gonna need to play price as it is at the moment. You need to play the game of time. Price is gonna be up in the future. Trade accordingly. Which again, for those of you with larger accounts, should not be a problem. We had the diamond in here. Nothing happened. God, this price action is terrible. You just have very clear support and resistance, that's all. Low range, high range, upper range. I'm just gonna look at all mega caps in the same way. eBay continues. Switch to the fast layout. Switch to the fast one. Where we got these charts on. Oh, the fucking dream. Look how quick this shit moves. Maybe better quality for you guys too. All right. First from last night. EA's the only thing that's really coming off the low. Oh, this is so much smoother even on here. Whew. The XCM, support buy. That's the other. The rest, take profit from big day yesterday. TSM obviously just, it's exactly where it would be expected to be. Anything to note there? Not really. Nothing to really note there. Oh, the problem is going to be that we don't have. So, see, on this layout, don't have drawings on the others. That's why it's fucking faster. The other one's just maxed out on drawings. Is the problem? The problem. But if we're looking at intraday, we don't need the. This move so far, I mean, this is just so bullish. And I know it's not moving very quick and everything. There's still things taking profit, but this is very much like yesterday. Very much like yesterday, and that was the expectation coming into the day, and I think the market expected it as well, the way we traded. This take profit into this move here is very good. This has been concentrating since Friday. I think this is great price action for the Dow. Look at those candles. Small caps, not so much. Small caps, not so much. Not so much, sir. Tightening, though. Tightening. What do we got? 1024. Yeah, we're going to chill for a little bit, guys. For a little bit. Let's see what we got. Anything? I mean, we have Powell and Yellen doing testimony today. Going to talk about God knows what. What do you guys think about $3 trillion for spending? Is that going to cause inflation? They're both going to go, nah. Citigroup CEO bans Friday Zoom calls, encourages vacations. Nothing like taking a vacation during the COVID era. Am I right? Go get out there. Jefferies offers junior bankers a Peloton bike. Okay. Really nothing interesting to look at, huh? Be interesting to see what happens with the COVID cases this time. Is it going to be just like all the other times? Oh, everything's great, and then COVID comes back, super COVID. Europe shut down. Jesus. It's going to be 2022 by the time we figure this shit out. God. Too much. Why can't we figure this shit out yet? Fucking get your shots and wear your mask. Interesting though to see what happens. I think we all thought we were kind of coming into the clear with the vaccines, and now shit's getting shut down again. Cases are shit. Overseas on one vaccine and it kicked my shit in. You thought? Exactly, yeah, you thought. I mean, I really didn't think. I have no hope in a lot of people, so they started opening shit. There's like opening shit here in New York, and now everyone's like, can we like pause that? Can we put a pause on that? Yeah, let's open gyms. Genius. Let's open the gyms up. Like, okay. I don't think so. I don't think so. But I mean, Europe closing down is, spooky. Not fun. Fucking. Vaccines are happening so quick right now, so. Get this shit going. Fucking sick of this shit. I want to be able to do something. Not that I don't do shit, but. Still close to the even reopen. No, I mean, they're like talking about. I mean, we have like the normal reopenings that we've already had, but. Oh, in Europe? I mean, they opened up a little bit, yeah. In the sense that just like here we have like restaurants and shit open, they did the same thing. They like did the outdoor and but they also were so much more they just can shut down shit so much easier than here. Here we suck at this shit, right? You can't get people to not do anything. So they close shit up and it's like an inconvenience, but people aren't fucking rioting. Yeah, the new COVID variants or whatever seem to be the problem. Whatever fucking Israel is doing, why don't we just get that shit? They already have a nasal vaccine in Israel. I'm guessing that's just like the the spot where we're trying out all the vaccines. Um, but hey guys, New York's been fine. We've been open doing shit for a while. We like a month ago did the indoor, but I mean it's pretty normal here. We just wear masks, but everything's been fucking open here and everything's been fine. Just depends on the people. Insane. Insane. Been over a year. Somewhere you going? I can't wait till the next pandemic, to be honest. Don't have to do anything. Stay inside. Some of you know what? I know some of you are going, man, really wish I could get a couple more stimulus checks. Free money, right? Man, I love this shit. Free money. Some of you like, let me quit my job and click unemployment. Trying to black out Austin with Gabe. Open this B. Exactly. I mean, it is what you make it, right? It is what you make it. You can do stuff. I mean, I haven't. I still traveled more than I wanted to. 10. I don't know how many trips. I think 10 or so trips. We're looking at TSM. What other semis be on the table? Yeah, I already bought. I bought all the semis. Yeah, yeah. Yesterday we talked about uh, Nvidia. Nvidia was the entry yesterday. We entered UMC. We entered UMC and TSM last week on Friday. AMKR is the other the more bullish ticker, which was already trending up that we were part of, right? This chart, we had entered, and then if we go into sort of the semi idea of solar, we of course had entered those a little bit earlier, going on the Friday pullback. But yes, all of them together are very bullish, and there's obviously a lot of different tickers that uh, are within that sector, right? Now, AMD, of course, is still like the more bearish. This is just a turd. Why not? I don't really know what. I mean, obviously, right at the beginning of the year and everything else, we started to really understand that this was not going to happen, and we just kept trading the other tickers, and they're well above this, right? They're much further up to the upside. I mean, whatever the reason is for AMD not being very good, it probably has a lot to do with the fact that it took the fuck off. When we took this, again, we were taking these trades over here, right? And capturing this rally, and then the fact that this rally happened on a ticker like AMD obviously has caused it to be a bit paused, right? It's very much kind of like, it's kind of like as Amazon. This movement in here is sort of like Amazon. Not the most recent action, but the action in here where it seems like something is possibly occurring, there's possible breaks happening, and then it just never does. It's kind of stuck. I mean, I think it's definitely getting to the tail end of its consolidation. The sector is so bullish right now, and there's a lot of growth coming back, a lot of prospects for it. We understand there's a lot of supply issues, which AMD is probably better positioned for. So even on that side of things, I would have to expect people are going to be like, okay, well, AMD's just fucking better. So the fact that this is trading now a little bit closer towards the NASDAQ over here, I would say it's possible that when you get the break here, again, if this is like some long-term diamond pattern here, right? You have some sort of diamond in here. If this is what we have, now I don't know if we want to, maybe we want to bring it down to here. Ignore that rotation. If this is where we're at, right, then this is getting very close to being a possibility to trade. So we might need to remove the bias at some point and see how easily this fits in there. And then it's just the longer diamond like this, which we get a lot of these patterns that are like this, right? But you have clear wicks on the low side, so higher highs, lower lows, but it's not specifically lower lows, but I'm just showing you this trend line here. You can get the lower low over here. I'm just trying to show. Okay, I'll do it. It is a lower low. However you want to do it. You do it through whatever. Fucking Mac. You guys get the point. it is a lower low. This is a trend line that goes down. There you go. Lower lows, higher highs, lower highs, higher lows. You're coming to the tail end of this. Now, if this climbs this way, then it doesn't really fucking matter. But if this came right now with the rest of the sector, then that'd be a different story. Even though it's coming closer towards the apex, it's such a long consolidation that it's not going to move very much anyway. And so it's more about the most recent action and not the tail end over here. This is the action that matters over here. And you would likely in this situation, if there was a break, you would actually remove some of this. We know it's in a long-term consolidation. You would actually just forget about that and think about where things are right now, which is what we've been talking about. That's actually what we're doing on all these tickers, and we're looking at the most recent action. And so you would actually look at this over here, and let's just quite literally remove. Let's remove these. We understand there's a long-term consolidation, and that's fine. Whatever. You would actually be looking at this kind of action, just like the rest of the market, and say, okay, well, so you've got this trend line here. This would be a continuation triangle, right? Here, here. Now, this is the move that matters, right? If this broke out here today or tomorrow, then I'd be okay. I would still call it that. Now, the problem is the continuation from here. It does exist. It's very fucking long, though. It's very long. And some of these charts do have this because it's so bullish before and then it consolidated for so much. It creates this very large... it creates this very large trend from, I mean, let's just call COVID bottom the actual bottom because I don't want to go this deep, but this is the problem. It's like you've got, I mean, it's not a problem. It's just like the Apple chart though, where I drew the Apple trend. So look, this is coming into the trend line in here, right? It's bouncing. This is how the Apple chart's working, right? So AMD is in the same situation. They're all the same fucking thing, of course. They're not that different. It's just different on like a minuscule sort of level, micro level. If this holds here and goes to the upside, well, look at your upside. I mean, this is the upside for all charts. You have a lot of upside. You got clear sky. It could just trade on this forever. I don't know. If it breaks down, that's not very good. It's not going to break down, though. Don't expect it to. Don't expect it to. Let me show you the Apple chart. I'm going to load the 15,500 drawings, 900 charts. Hold on. So again, this long-term trend. Now, this presents a lot of upside. So the idea is price is going to trade between the trend, right? In the channel. Climb to the top, come to the bottom. Well, we're at the bottom right now, building confidence. A lot of upside. Zoom leading the way. More take profit. selling at this point. It's gonna make an interesting lunch. Still high or low. More. That's the important part. Is that? All caps. Buy it. Buy it. Whipsaw time. Whipsaw up. Whipsaw down. Or one whipsaw to the downside. Whipsaw to the upside. I'm not exactly sure what spurred that right there. It's not much. It's not many points. Not sure. We're going to be getting a lot of this. We bet on more volatility. There's going to be more volatility. We're not finishing down here, though, boys. I'll tell you that. Let us buy anything? Not really. Now, would I buy this down here? I would probably buy most of this shit down here. This is the trend line on AMD. I was just drawing. How much did these take profit? They didn't really. This whip is actually good. If you look at it through the NASDAQ, this is perfect here. Rejection from resistance. Come right back down to the low from the open. That's like perfect. Not many points. Volatility though. Movement. It happened in such a quick time, you don't lose tempo. Pumping that volatility in. Which is to be expected. To be expected. Zoom. More. Look at this. More. What's been bullish is continuing to go up. That's for sure. I love it. I love it. Whip us back and forth some more. What have we not bought? I'm trying to think of some things that we can buy. That we have not been able to get into. EVs are really the only thing that we have not been able to get into recently. That I would like to have a long position on, whether it's through Ford. GM is like the exception because GM has been doing well. A bit of an exception over here. Been doing a little bit better. This take profit move is not very much comparatively. No, it's similar to Ford, but Ford has also been consolidating a little bit longer. Maybe just taking all of these trades in. It's not. We're never going to perfectly time it, but we're not in this trade anymore. We should. I thought we should take it yesterday, but Tesla kind of fucked with it. Um, kind of. Okay, I'm gonna take all my long trades right now on EVs. I'm gonna do it right now. I keep talking about it. I'm just gonna do it. Taking long trades. June. Deep, deep fucking value. June. If I get stopped out today, I'll re-enter it the next day. I've talked enough about equities being risk on and going bullish. These may not move immediately, but and again, I wouldn't take it over other trades. So something to keep in mind, I'm already in other trades. I'm not taking these trades over those other trades. Just happen to have money. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. And I'm not buying the ask. I'm in no rush. Could get another 1%, 2% pullback on some of these. Give them to me. Do this real quick. Neo as well. Because some of you are wondering. Neo as well. This thing is really beat down. I'll fucking take it. This is also a volatility bet. Betting on more volatility on Neo, and I talked about that yesterday, I think. Take them. Take them. Peloton, Etsy, looking good. Looking good. COVID winner, Zoom, Peloton, Etsy, all looking good. Netflix, looking good. COVID winners. COVID winners. ZI, COVID winner, looking good. Looking very good. Imagine not buying everything. Oof, God. Amazon, I like. Nike continues, which is very good. Very good. Didn't want to get fucked on that trade. eBay continuing to be strong. Not taking profit. Interesting. Really, really interesting. See what's going on here. Oh, right. MRVL is the other semi. It got stuck with AMD, and then it got really fucked. And then now it looks like the market over here. If it was down here, it'd be a little bit better. Not sure I would take that over the others. Still coming off the resistance rejection. W back in support. Dish is down into this support. I didn't really know what to make of this today. I was so bullish here. Take profit on the big move down. This on 15. I don't know if that's like the trade to take right there. Doesn't feel right. Tomorrow, if you get this daily candle sitting, I don't know if it's gonna sit there though. Kind of a bad time for it. Yeah, it's a wait for tomorrow. Wait for tomorrow. It's too late. If it was at open, that'd be a different story. A little too late. Oh my god, are the yields going up? No. Oil continue to get fucking pounded though. Good thing we got out of the natural gas short, huh? A-row going to what, 11? Can we have a really long-term weekly chart on this? Zoom continues. Zoom's going to 385 today. Apparently. Quick 385, quick, pit stop. Netflix continues. Again, COVID winter's looking very good. Whipsaw. IV'd out of her mind. Amazon. I like it. All of them. Push them. Push them. Push them. Facebook. Push it. Fuck Facebook, but push it, please. Give us more. ERM's still coming back, which is good. Things got beat up down here. Still coming back in a good spot. Not very volatile, but we can get that. What a buy. Alright, let's see if we can blow through this fucking resistance already. Let's get up to the next point. This level does not matter. This one does. That one does up there. I know we traded on this all day and it's a level, but it's the 324 on the Qs, the Nasdaq that fucking matters. Let's get up there. Do this thing already. Love this price action though. When it comes to making a bet that there's going to be more volatility this week, kind of shit we need for confirmation of the idea, and very good for options. Again, just IVs increasing is literally all you need. The price can be the same spot, but if volatility went up, there's more price movement. That's all you need. Premium is going up. Go take a look at the boys. How are the boys doing over here? That's literally not. Ooh. Oh. Really makes you think. I took my first stroll back over to Wall Street Bets. Haven't looked in a while. I like that they still think that um, hedge funds are paying people to go on WSB and downvote things into to try to stop people from holding. Insane. Conspiracies. Big conspiracies. At least we're coming at least they're going back to like the norm, which is that this is all risky and gambling and not a real thing. I mean, they kind of all still think now that since things happen that it's I don't know. They're value investors? I have no fucking idea. But bring it back to the memes. Conspiracy theories, hedge funds paying people to downvote, hedge funds, I don't know. All kinds of weird shit. Such fucked up price movement. Probably one of the dumbest charts I've ever seen in my life. It's just terrible. Absolutely terrible. This, yeah, this shit is just bad. I mean, every time that you've got this sort of price movement, it's gone to the upside, right? Gone to the upside. See? These candles here, upside. These candles here, upside. These candles, upside. These candles, upside? Question mark. But are all these people what Wall Street Bets has made us think is that all these people are betting on earnings because they're all value investing in fundamental traders, right? In going against the short. So if earnings are good, then it's going to go up, right? Right? Now, the thing to remember here is that Wall Street owns about, I don't know, what, 3, 4 times as much of GameStop as retail does. It's more than that, but like 80, 85%. I mean, it's actually more than that. It's like 90% because it's over 100%. 90% of this is owned by the street. So they're long. Hold on a second. I thought that everyone was short. Maybe everyone's just betting on volatility. That volatility is going to be high on the chart. Probably that's it. Wait a second. You can be long and short at the same time? Fuck me. What is that? Bullshit. That's just unfair. I can't bet on a team winning and losing a game. How the hell does that work? I can't bet on the Lakers winning and losing the game. That does not exist. Well, welcome to the market. Long and short at the same time. Profiting on the spread from retail just trading non-fucking stop, buying dumb shit all day. Profiting on the spread. Imagine. They're laughing in their fucking penthouses, doing a bunch of blow right now. What is it? What's the one they make fun of? Melvin? All this shit's public information. Why do they not have are they hiding publicly their losses? Is Citadel publicly somehow like hiding the public information? Jewish space lasers, am I right? That's gotta be what it is. The Earth is flat there is a space though, and they've got space lasers, and they're beaming the losses out of the public information. Don't tell all the secrets. Hey, this is what they say. They Got a lot of conspiracies out there right now. Piton. I'm gonna get on the bike this lunch. Get on the bike for lunch. Actually pretty sunny out. Oh god. I went for a run yesterday during lunch. I don't know what it is about like the spring when it's warmer. Makes it so much harder to run than during the winter. Fuck. I was dying. Run on the water. Went outside, I was like, Jesus, it's like 60 something degrees outside. Insane. I don't know if it's the allergies or what. Might get on the Piton. Still waiting for the new Elite bike. The new whatever one it's called. That might be the moment. We'll see. Alright, pretty chill day today, guys. Pretty chill day. Swing back and forth. Sine graphed out of our mind. Sine waved out of our mind. Don't really have much for you here. We just continue. Manage trades. Manage trades. I mean, obviously we've been buying a lot of lows. I want to buy some of the stuff here. There's just not really opportunities on some of these charts. Not yet. We need to wait for like further consolidation, right? Some of the more value-oriented stuff, we need to wait for more consolidation. Absolutely. And also there's a lot of news trading, which is as soon as there's a lot of news trading, we know we need to wait and not take for granted that the market isn't based on news, but that price can move because of news. People do sell things because of news and different ideas. Look at those candles on Viacom. That's probably a buy. That's probably a buy. Let me put it on the other one. Oh, I thought I had a trend line on this one. That's a buy. Mets heading to the hometown. Interesting. 11 o'clock, guys. It's fucking lunch. We had early lunch today. Big day yesterday. People chill today. Right? Hanging out today. I find it interesting. I find the price action very interesting. But I know it's a bit... There's really not true opportunities. I mean, I took some trades down here for EVs. We'll see if that works. About to get stopped out on Ford. We'll see if that holds or not. Tesla doing fine. NIO is about the same as Ford. It came down, but still holding. GM hasn't been able to do shit. And again, talked about it in a different spot. Different spot. But a good candle. I'll be buying. Try to get those today. The thing is that I want to get into those positions now because I don't want to have to fucking try to time it later. So if I can just get into EVs now, I don't need to fucking think about it tomorrow, this week, while I'm trying to manage these other growth trades that I know are going to be just as much of a mess. So that's why I'm buying EVs right now. And hey, it may not be the low end. It might, I might get stopped out and need to do it again tomorrow or do it at close, right? That's fucking fine. I want to push it overnight though. That's the other thing, is I want to be able to push it overnight and get the points during after hours. It's so important to do that. Yeah, shit might move during intraday. It's gonna happen, right? I may even lose money intraday. I don't really care. I expect prices to be up higher. If I lose 5-10% on my options over the next couple days trying to just get in at a low point, I'm fucking fine with that, right? Price to pay. Price to pay. As long as it's not taking away from my other trades, which I don't. I've now taken profit on enough things that I'm not having like not cash trapped where I was literally going into. I mean, it changes very quickly, but I was just fucking leveraged, and now I'm not. Right? Not that I ever really need to be leveraged, but you know, you take advantage of what you can. COVID winners are on, growth's on. I'm putting those trades on. Want to put EVs on. Been able to take profit on some of the value trades. Also adding new positions to those as they take profit, adding more to them because of the success. Things like this. No reason not to take advantage of this move down here. Proved enough. Very easy to be like, well, okay. All right. Apple, glory, absolutely. Everything's moving from here. Everything's moving from down here. Again, you get this whip. That whip is beautiful, right? Whip this way, whip that way. Whip all the way. Oh man, we're getting paid. Fuck, sorry guys, I'm so sorry. Sorry. Chains and Whips by Rihanna. Ooh. Love Rihanna. Big Rihanna fan. Rihanna's actually is, well, you guys already know, in Midtown. She's literally right next door. She has one of her Fenty stores right here, and then I mean, probably not so much during COVID, but probably once a week here, strolling, going to the store. New York would be like that. During COVID, though, you can't tell who the fuck is who. You can spot her, though. I promise. You wouldn't be able to tell me from a crowd with my mask on, because I look like every other fucking loser out here. But you can spot Rihanna. Holy moly, look at us go. Unbelievable. It's amazing. Glory, Amazon, let's fucking go. Microsoft, let's go. Pump the Dow, boys. Dow needs Microsoft and Apple to go. Nike, go. Facebook, let's get it going. Fuck Facebook, but we are Facebook investors now. We're long Facebook. Fuck Facebook, so long it. This is still one of the funnier charts I've posted recently. Absolutely. Probably one of the funnier charts. Let's be honest. From my dialogue from before to taking this trade, probably one of the funnier charts. And one of the more spot on charts. Which is scary. Which is scary because this was a mess. Absolute fucking mess. In this trade has paid exceptionally well, which it should not have. Anyone that's taken this trade with me definitely knows. I mean, it was all this in here, which is why I've talked about other charts that have done this where it has this very messy time. As soon as price breaks out of that, there's all of a sudden this adjusting of pricing, especially on the option side. Options in here are not being priced for movement. At some point, you expect to not be able to break a level, and you start to expect small amount of movement. Even though this is a lot of volatility back and forth, it's not volatility in the sense that it's going to be having a price move to the upside. So it might be volatile around this 260 range. 260 had a very high IV in this area. But what happened is as soon as it broke this level, all of the contracts above that do not have high IVs. There's not a very high expected implied volatility. If you looked back here at the IV charts, you would actually see it tailor. Let me draw it. The IVs down there, what it looked like for the later periods was something along these lines, where it would be like this. This is what the IV chart looked like, with this being more in the money, right? This is more in the money. There was lower volatility when contracts were in the money, maybe a little bit more like this. And then, of course, more volatility around this range. Maybe technically it'd look like this. Make it look normal. This is what the IV chart looked like. And so there was less volatility once it gets in the money, right? And then here's the at the money. So at the money has a lot of, uh, this is higher on like the IV chart. If this is 0, it's up here. And so usually though, it's more like this, right? It's more like this around sort of a short-term understanding, because as it moves more in the money or out of the money, it has more volatility. And then also the timing factor, right? The more time there is, the more these extend, right? And so what was happening was that there wasn't very much expectation that price would break through here, because again, it was shit, of course. So as soon as it breaks through here, all of a sudden, you still have a chance to buy in. You still have a chance to buy in before those implied values change. And so you actually got a cheaper price because you weren't paying as much for a premium because the IV was not high yet. Now IVs are going back to sort of an understanding that, okay, there's more volatility coming, and so that's what's giving you your gain. Your premium level, the IV is going up when it was much lower. It was much lower because, again, there was not much movement. So as soon as movement happens, well, oh shit, that's different than before, so IV goes up, right? That's all that IV is checking. So now that shit's in the money, it's actually gaining more and more exponentially, not just based on underlying. With the delta going, it's the fucking IV. IV'd out of its mind. Because all this nonsense. It really fucks with it. It really does fuck with the derivative when you get this kind of thing, because it's a lot of volatility in terms of a spread, but it's not moving anywhere. And so everyone is so bad at calculating any of that, in the sense that options are not being priced basically at all. They're just not. There's nothing to price down there. All you're doing is you're widening the spread, but you're not actually increasing the value. At least projected value. Here, guys, give me 1 second. Let me just. One second. Transportation. Transportation. This has come from quite the fucking low down here. EDSK is an interesting idea down here. It got tied into growth. We had this very big move, and then it got tied into growth a ton. Really came down again with the Nasdaq. Everything is looking good like this, right? Everything. There's so many different opportunities out there. TVNA. Oh god. Retail stores. Vengeance. Retail stores with a vengeance. Or this one at least. Where's Jimmy at now? Two. They're gonna look like this right now during lunch. Same thing as always. We do the same thing as always. Soon as lunch comes in, the removal of volume removes the sell side. Demand goes. Doing the same thing as always, or what? Unbelievable. See how quickly we get to 324. It should be pretty quick. Go back. It should be pretty quick, like right over here. Should be pretty quick. Pfizer has pills coming out for COVID? What the? Did you take your pills today? How much? I think crude is really fucking with everybody. Oil, with the way the whole cycle is working with commodities. I think everyone's just going to go into equities. I mean, that's it. No one wants bonds. No one's been wanting gold or silver. No one wants the dollar. What else is there to fucking buy? Been getting a lot of offers. Take out big loans. Might be the time. Take out a small loan of $1 million. You know, remember that story? That was for free though, but there's pretty good interest rates right now. Everything is gonna go. There's nowhere to put money. From like an institution standpoint, there's nowhere to put your fucking money. Nowhere. You put a little into Bitcoin. You buy some junk bond. You buy some junk bonds. Get some yield. You try to package some dumb shit together. It doesn't. It's still not enough. There's only one thing to buy right now. And with crude going down, it does fuck it up a little bit because you're trying to like, as an institution, you're trying to uh, work around the cycle. Commodities are volatile, and I mean, no one really wants to trade commodities, but there is like some understanding of using them to understand your timing. I think right now the best thing you can do is just go buy equities, and I think everyone's gonna buy equities still, which is why I'm fully positioned. But you know, I keep spreading out more and more. We were pinpointing a certain area, got paid for it. Now we're just buying anything and everything, spreading out through the entire equity market, trying to capture anything. When we see flows come in, when we see an inflow, we'll find out where exactly it's going. And then maybe we can add a little bit more of that area, but I just don't see anything else you can do. Like on a day like today, there's things are not really moving that much anywhere. Not much excitement, but God, does everything else look awful? Everything else looks awful. No one wants to fuck around with the treasury market. Yeah, there's auctions this week, 2, 5, and 7 year this week, and they'll probably all get filled. There's probably no problem. But it's because there's too much money. A lot of last year, I talked about this idea that when you have cash, everything looks like an opportunity. If you have money, everything looks like an opportunity. You just want to spend your money, right? You don't really care about the price of things if you just have money. Last year, the problem was that you have too much money. And then it gets spent, right? And then you were finally able to put it into something and buy it. Right now, the problem is you have too much money again. You have too much money in the market, and you need something to buy. You get to spend it on something. So when everything looks like an opportunity, you're going to buy something. But right now, equities are the only opportunity. So everything equity wise is an opportunity. So it's just going to get bought. I mean, it's just the fucking reality. It's not really a hot take, that's for sure, because we've already seen the market keep going up. Okay. So again, don't think too much about what happens during the day. We're going to take a bit quicker of a break today. Again, just based on the action. I don't want to overtalk anything and running out of things to come up with and even look at. And I don't want to. The important part of I think right now is to keep these ideas in mind of what I'm talking about, and to realize that you just need to try to be positioned and then not look at price action too much. What happens during the day shouldn't really fucking matter. It doesn't matter. And I don't want to sit here and watch charts. I'm in positions, try to buy at lows. If they don't work out, they don't work out, and I'll try to get back in. But basically, everything we're in has been in from a low from over here, or from yesterday, or from over here on the 5th. And so we're in positions, we're pushing them. I don't want to watch price action during the day, unless I'm looking for new opportunities, which there will be a few. But I think it's really important to just continue the mindset that the equity market is really the spot to be right now. The price is going to increase. We don't really get to time it. Just we're going to be long. That's it. That's literally it. I don't care what happens during lunch here. Last week during here, we cared a little bit more about what was happening. We were a little bit more sensitive. We did care kind of about tempo wise. That was on the value side of looking at. It was really through here. We cared about whether or not there was going to be momentum, and we saw it. Right, every lunch it kept melting up, and we got significant points during that rally. Right now, I don't really care. Don't care. This is over. This is more than one day, right? This is more than even 1 week. So this is kind of a mindset of going. We're going. Everything that's being done right now is much bigger picture. There's been a lot of recent volatility because there's a lot of positioning going on and changing of positions. But you have to remember that everyone that's buying shit right now, they're not buying it for. We're swinging over a short amount of time. They're buying it for like 5 years from now. Literally. Like quite literally. They're trying to make plays based off of what they see on interest rates. That's not for something right now. They're not even talking about there was only a few votes for a 2023 rate hike. That's not even going to happen. It's probably going to be after that. And so again, we're talking about things that are so far away that have they don't really matter right now, but people are making decisions for then now, right? That's just how it works. And so we're sort of in that moment. We want to take advantage of it, but we don't want to look at everything that happens every second, right? That's not how it works, right? So not going to watch everything during lunch. Shit pulls back during lunch. I don't care. Literally don't care. Doesn't matter. I care about where price can be next week. So let's take a break for lunch. Drink some water. Get some exercise. You know, some of you sit on your ass all day like me. You got to get up, get active. Your brain will stop working. You gotta do something, you know? Fix your posture at least. But, you know, get your blood flowing. I think I'm gonna go do some sprints. Nice and sunny. Get some sun. Enjoy your lunch, guys. I will see you in the afternoon for a close. Is close gonna be more interesting? I mean, I think prices just keep climbing. So if that's interesting to you, then okay, thumbs up. I'll see you then, guys. You need